One Take Wine. We're back. Beautiful April day, Saturday in Malmo, Sweden. Yes, I thought I would share a wine that I opened yesterday, and the story behind that is because we cannot just get right to it, can we? I opened it for a restaurant where we could bring our own wines. Shush, let's not tell anyone, as that's not legal, I don't think. Anyway, it was a kind of supper club thing. And when I opened it, I was a little unsure that maybe I should be taking this one to the restaurant. I should, just take a different one, really. It felt a little soft. It might get lost. I didn't know the crowd. Well, I knew the crowd a little bit. Some of them are strangers, but I mean, I don't know the chef, and I don't know what they're serving, and I don't know what wines are coming with foods, and I don't know what foods are being served. It was one of those types of menus where the chef just does whatever they want. So I was a little worried, actually. So I decided to bring something that I could eat just as easily be a disappointment, but at least would have some historical interest. So I brought a 96 Coteau de Chéri Conlieu from André Perret. And it was a little tired. It was a little tired, unfortunately. But the first bottle wasn't, right? So there was a 2-bottle lot, and then but the second bottle didn't live up to where you'd kind of hope these might live up to. Anyway, it didn't really matter. There was lots of other stuff to drink, and it came early in the night. It wasn't like everybody was waiting on that wine. It wasn't that it would have been a perfect match for any of the foods. So, it was okay. It was fine. In any case, I come home, and of course I've still got this bottle of wine, and it's the next day. I could go on about the dinner. I'm not going to go on about the dinner. Suffice to say, the food was excellent. The hour was late, unfortunately. That was the real drawback of this, was eating at 2 o'clock in the morning. It just doesn't make any sense. But the food was wonderful, and if you get a chance, it's worth swinging by the restaurant. They're called Liren here in Malmo. And like I say, the food was truly, I mean, really, each of the courses, timing wise, was completely off. Delicious wise was off the scale. So it's kind of where you're at, right? What you can put up with. Very intimate in someone's apartment kind of thing above the restaurant. Yeah. I won't say anymore. I'm not going to say anything about the wines because that's a bit of a disaster. It's a vin nature kind of restaurant. That, is not really my bag. So I took notes on some of them, but they're not really, wasn't worth taking notes on. We did have an 82 Romanée Saint-Vivant from Domaine Romanée Conti, and it had been open for 6 hours by the time we got to it, and it was wonderful. I mean, really full of life and energetic. Still had the Romanée Saint-Vivant class. Was absolutely delicious. Had a little friend visit in the middle of my filming. That's okay. Yeah, and that would have been the highlight wine-wise of the night. There was an 09 Claude Laroche from Ligné, which was also very good. I must say, it was very good. I mean, it wasn't as good as the Romanée Saint-Vivant, but it was a very good wine. Him bringing that wine, that participant, was very much appreciated. And had I known and been able to prepare, I would have brought I would have brought a red wine, first of all. That's number one. And then number two, I might just have gone with the one I opened and the one we're here to talk about today, finally getting to it, and that is the 2006 Faiveley Clos, Chablis le Clos. It's a Grand Cru, Chablis le Clos. And Faiveley is they're a négociant type house. So, but they do make the wines, and they make them very, very well. They're quite usually I think they're an underrated supplier of fantastic wines. And I'm okay with it being a bit of a secret. I mean, the prices are elevated, but they're not through the roof. You can still get things at auction that are well developed. And this is no different. This is an 06. So an 06 right? We're talking almost 20 years, 28, 17 years, whatever it is. Le Clos, the best, I think most people would agree, or at least one of them. It's in the top 2 or 3 of the Grand Cru areas of Chablis. I think it's the top, personally. But there you go. And so it's with age, and I got it for. I don't want to lie here. I got it for 60 euros plus juice. So we're talking about 70, 75 euros, 80 euros. That's insane. I mean, of course, it sounds like a lot of money, but it isn't in the wine world today. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's ridiculous. How can you give these away? From what I can tell, by going to Cellar Tracker, the only vintages I can see listed on Cellar Tracker are between 2004 and 2012. I'm not into the journalism side of this kind of posting, so I'm not going to phone them up and find out, hey, what happened? How come you're not making it anymore? Or are you making it anymore? And just nobody's ever kind of posted the notes. What's happened? What's the story? Who are you getting the wine from? They'll never tell you. But that code of these producers who buy the grapes or the must from from someone else, make a wine, and then neither party says where they originally came from. There's all kinds of stories about this with DRC, for instance. Everybody wants to know what they do with their Premier Cru wines every year, the Bon Romanée. Who's getting it? Le Petit Mont, I think it's called. Some years it's Lucien Lemoine, and some years it was Nicolas Potel. And then, of course, those wines, when they come out from those producers now at auction, are worth a fortune because everybody speculates that it's originally a DRC wine, but DRC didn't make the wine. They may have made the must, but they didn't make the wine. Like this, it's still finished off by the producer whose name is on the bottle. I think they're fun when you're getting them because they're going to be an incredible value, but they're not so much fun when all of a sudden they've been speculated out of the zone. I really don't understand what people are doing, but whatever. If that's what you want to pursue, that's up to you. Let's get back to this Le Clos. Look at that color. Yeah, we can see a little bit of age on it, but it's not. It's not. It has depth and it has a beautiful, shining golden hue to it, but not a deep one, not a Southern Rhone one or anything like that. On the nose, it's very linen-like and very floral, a soft approach, and that's kind of, I don't want to say banana, but just that soft fruit feel to it. It's very light and cloud-like, and that's kind of it didn't put me off. It's what made me hesitant to bring it to the restaurant, was that delicatesse with which it tiptoes into the world. It doesn't make a big splashy entrance. And now when you're drinking it, it's really soft pear is what it is. Pear and lemon, of course, but not a sharp lemon, a very soft lemon, and the pear is more prominent, I think. It's got this lovely, oh gosh, it's so mineral, of course, being the Clos and Chablis, but it's almost like a caramelized minerality. It's hard to explain. It's like it's been gently cooked for a little while and turned into, given some depth through the charring process. That's a stupid analogy, but it's kind of what it feels like. There's more. The mineral is more than just simply a sharp, chalky presence. It feels like it's fully integrated with the wine and kind of providing this soft blanket of flavor and a depth of experience that's a little bit special, actually. If I saw these again, I would. I'm suspecting there aren't so many bottles produced in the first place, so I think it was a bit exceptional to find anyway. And then second of all, I think it's a miss by everybody else who was bidding on that particular auction. You let go a top Premier Cru from a top Burgundy producer, trustable Burgundy producer, for €60. Thank you very much. I don't know if it tastes better when the purchase is good, but I suspect somewhat colors my perception. Wow, what a note. It's just that softness, and it takes you places. I'm not going to say that it's, it's not as moving as a Dovisa Le Clos, which, I mean, I love Dovisa Le Clos. Ravenot, don't even get me started. Those are fantastic, but it's been years because they're out of this price world now. But Dovisa, you can every once in a while splurge out and get a, 08 Le Clos, for instance, was one of the last ones. I think I even have a video of that experience in the archives. And those are amazing, but those are the two, it's like a Coche de Vie for Ian Marceau. It's those are the producers that are kind of head and shoulders above all the others, in my opinion. Yeah, this is really, really nice. I super enjoy this. I love the softness of it, but the pronounced length and lingering presence of it has a tremendous amount of class. Feels very French. Feels very aristocratic. Feels very like it belongs in important places. Yeah, a delicious, albeit light. I mean, if you're the California Chardonnay punch in the mouth type of, nothing wrong with that. I like some of those, so it may sound negative, but it's not necessarily negative. If you like the more expressive, bold, California punch in your face type of wine, not for you. But for lovers of Burgundy who are okay having to work a little to find the flavor and to appreciate the presence and the class of it, can't go wrong. That's it for this one. I'm probably going to have some wines tomorrow. I may even have a guest. Maybe I'll have him tag along and we'll do a guest post. Who knows? All right. Either way, see you soon. Stay thirsty.